So if I go in there, I can choose drama, and Heartbeat. I really like Heartbeat. I always want to be watching Heartbeat.
Okay.
So what I can do is I can share it with my friends on Twitter and Facebook.
Now just stop on that, because that's really interesting to me. Now, I have had a TiVo box, and I remember trying to explain to a friend when I first got it why it was so great, but I couldn't do this. I couldn't share something over Facebook. Tell us how that works.
So it's really simple. You go in here and you can go, if you click the share on Facebook button, what it'll do is it'll put on your Facebook page, the information behind that show, when it was first broadcast, what the show is, what's about it, and say, look, did you know that you can also watch this on the PS3?
And what's the, I get recommendations for magazine articles and things all the time through Facebook, and I usually click on them. Is the behaviour exactly the same with TV? How does it, how are we finding out that people behave?
So the behaviour seems to be different for TV content than for other types of online content. There's some interesting market research that we've been doing over the last few months that we've just been talking about at the show. And one of the things we found is that, when it comes to TV content, the major influencer over people's viewing actually isn't friends and family, it's magazines.
Oh, really? And is that a historic thing? I think of my parents always buying weekly TV listings magazines. Is that going to pass on with time?
So it's certainly commoner amongst the older generation. The younger generation, they still read magazines a lot, but things that are more influential for the younger generations are things like channel surfing and seeing trailers for things being previewed, basically. Those turn out to be more influential. In terms of recommending shows to friends, we found 90% of the people we asked for said that they frequently made suggestions that other people should watch shows on TV. But we also found that no one took any notice of any recommendations that were made to them.
Isn't that interesting? Because again, on Facebook, if someone recommends a text article to me, I often read it. Just tell me, you mentioned channels there. Clearly, in the past, channels were an essential thing to have because you could only show television programs one at a time.
Absolutely.
Over the air. And they were also useful things for us to have because if you went to HBO, you knew you were going to get drama of one kind. If you went to CNN, you were going to get news, all the rest of it. In this world of video on demand, people recommending shows to each other, what does a channel mean, and what does your technology mean for channels?
Well, I mean, the main way that the channel is adding value is entirely through the fact that people can then watch it at a time that suits them, and they stumble across stuff that they can't find. But I think the channels do need to work more with the alternative providers. One of the frustrations is that, there's a new series which you hear about halfway through, and you want to watch from the beginning. At the moment, the channels have got a broadcast window that they can work with, and maybe they can't show the earlier ones. Maybe they should be saying to people, hey, did you know you can buy it on iTunes?